Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode, we went and built up a whole new storage system for the redstone pit here, and worked on transporting a shulker to the overworld with much trials and issues. Now, we haven't dragged the shulker all the way over here yet, and instead I have been working on trying to get the filters in, and they are all in. There's just one problem. I built 3/4 of them in the wrong spot. So we basically have to go in and tear out the filters from here all the way around to here. And that's going to be fun. Especially since we don't really have a good way of reaching those bottom chests right now. I haven't put in a new floor, which we probably should at some point. At least just move this down maybe. But we have this set up on 3/4 of the way that it's reading from the top hoppers and not the ones that actually have the filter in it. So 3/4 of these are effectively non-stackable item filters and not actually item filters. We also have a bit of stuff around here to clean up. I want to move this tower. We do not need that big of a snow farm. We never actually did, but we definitely need to move this because the item filters are poking into it and I can't exactly build my plans. But cleaning up around here is not initially what I had planned to do today. What I was originally planning to do, and what we will probably get to as soon as we do that little bit of cleanup, is to go start work on the end hub. So what I'm hoping to do for that is I'm hoping that once we actually get all this cleaned up so that we can actually see what we have, we can go and get at least the start of that done. And what I'm thinking for that is we're going to build a nice big floral clock. But in order to do that, we need to sort everything out. We need to see just how much grass we have stashed away. That way we know how much more we have to get, or if we should just use moss for the entire thing. May just use moss. But first we need to fix these item filters and clean up a little bit. Alright, so first things first, we need to tear this out and... Oh, great. There's going to be a ton of snowballs in this, isn't there? Great. So, I'm going to tear this thing out, and I'll be back once we're ready to rebuild. So, we've got a small little platform over here. Should hopefully be big enough to put this snow farm. We do need to get ourselves a pumpkin to make the golems, but I'm not too worried about that. So all we really need is a sticky piston with a block of redstone, stone block, redstone dust. That'll just form a nice little clock. Off switch. And then sticky piston with a slab on it. Hopper pointing down, if I remember correctly. That'll go into storage once we actually get some over here. Now we basically just need to build up the snowman containment chamber, which is basically just glass on all three sides of this slab. Glass pane on top there, glass, glass, glass. And then we need a roof of glass. But on top of this, we're only going to build one unit. Don't need any more than that. And now, we just need to go get ourselves a pumpkin, which we should have plenty of them. Actually, I already had some. Alright, that's fine. We do need to go get ourselves a bit more glass. And there we go. Our victim, or snow golem rather, is in place. We just need to pulse that once to knock him down onto the hopper. And then we can get the glass on top. And if I'm not mistaken, that should apparently not work. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to do a bit of testing with this thing to maybe get it to work. It should work, but clearly something's not right. Maybe it has to be a solid block? I don't know. We will have to do some testing with that. But until then, we're just going to leave this guy in here. Maybe it's something with the hopper. I don't know. It does look like he's a lot lower than he should be. I'll have to play with that later. For now, though, we need to fix that storage and do that so we can start draining stuff and head out to the end. So I'm gonna go get that all cleaned up and that fixed, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so quite a bit of work later, and we now have all four of our item filters properly working. At least all four sides of our item filters properly working, that is. And it's working great. Haven't had much fall past all the filters. We do currently have a long hopper line down. Let's just bring anything we miss all the way down to the ground there so it can get put into that temporary storage system. And we have a massive bubble column made out of pumpkins and glass, because that's what I had, to hopefully keep most, if not all, of the items that are in this mess of chests here up and into the storage system. Should hopefully filter out a good chunk of the stone and dirt, and hopefully it works. So, if I'm right about how the redstone here works, all we should need to do is that there, and apparently I'm wrong. Alright, try this again. We need a redstone torch on that block. That will trigger the dispenser. And if we do that, that should set up a clock. Now, I don't like how fast that's ticking, so we'll have to add in a repeater into here. I think right there, and we'll fiddle with this. But that should send everything up to the top, where it'll go through the system. As you can see, we've got chests upon chests, just all stone and dirt, gravel, a couple other things, but mostly stone, dirt, and gravel. And that should, hopefully, allow us to sort a good chunk of this out. Now, since all these chests don't all feed into each other, obviously not all of this is going to go through, so we may have to do a few things to get this all sorted out. This should, hopefully, take care of the bulk of the items in here, and then we can just feed everything back in here and go from there. So I'm gonna go let this thing filter down and sort things out, and then I'll be back. Alright, so we have gotten most of the chests filtered out, or at least enough that we can actually get the materials that we need. And it has actually gotten quite a bit of stuff out. We've got a bit of an overflow storage down there, and actually not even filled up all of that with just what we filtered out so far. And we've actually got most of the system filtered, or at least the parts that actually connect to our dropper system and our water elevator here. I think it's currently on the last slice and taking care of the chests that are extra on that side over there, at least the bottom one. And yeah, it's going quite well. I should probably actually check on the gravel. We filtered out a lot of that, and I know there was several shulkers additional. Okay, that's a lot less gravel than I thought we filtered out. But needless to say, we have filtered out quite a bit of stuff. And I have managed to grab what I think should be all of the materials that I'm going to need for building. First, we need to head out to the end hub and prep the area a little bit. Alright, so here we are out in the end, and the first thing we need to do, we need to start lighting this place up so we have fewer endermen to deal with. Did go and craft a few stacks of end rods that should hopefully cover what we have left to light up in this area, and basically make this a lot safer for us to build in. But what I'm thinking of doing out here is basically carrying out this entire center section here down a couple blocks and basically turning this area around the center portal into basically a floral clock. So we'll go and put glass at the same layer as our bedrock here, have some air, and then we'll put our ground blocks on here. So we'll have 2 blocks pretty much that we can go through on all sides. Figure out something to do underneath the portal here since we're not really going to see that. But we need to basically go and dig this section out. Let's see. How big is this area going to be? 37. So I guess we'll do plus or minus 37 on all sides. So that gets us all the way up to, let's see. Oh, here. So that will be one space. I think it's Y63 we need to be at for our section here. But we basically need to dig out a giant circle. Yeah, Y63. Okay. But as I was saying, we need to dig out a giant circle going all the way around here. And that will serve as the center section for our hub. So it looks like I've got quite a bit of digging to do. And then I'll be back once we're ready to start doing that decoration for this. Alright, and there we go. That is the entire space here dug out. I think we probably need to dig out a bit more of these pillars here, just so that we have the solid wall going all the way around that's not interrupted by obsidian. But with that in, we need to start putting in our grass, our moss, and our glass, which I think we're going to start with the glass here. That should just basically make it that once we knock out the light sources down here, because I think we're going to use every space in here. But once we knock those out, if we have the glass in place, as we're putting in our grass and our moss, that should make it so that the endermen don't spawn. I don't think they can spawn with the hidden glass. But we have stone here because we just do not have the moss. We got 62 blocks. It should hopefully be enough. I think we're gonna just put those down first and then put the grass in around it. That way we can just bone meal these and not have to worry about tearing out the moss, or rather tearing out the grass and having that make a huge mess. So I'm gonna get to work putting in the glass here and all of the ground, and then I'll be back once we're ready to start doing a bit of the decoration inside of this area. Alright, and there we go. That is the entire section in here completely covered. We now basically just have a 2-block gap in here, except for the very center here, and I'm thinking maybe we'll just fill that in with obsidian. Maybe we'll just use the end stone. That could also be good. Still trying to figure that out. But we need to get our flowers in, and I've got a bit of a selection of colors. We've got orange tulips, allium, red tulips, blue orchids, and cornflowers. I wanted variety of colors and shapes and didn't just want to do poppies, so we do have tons of poppies. And I am thinking for our numbers, because this is going to be a clock, I want to try using the pink petals and see how that looks with the other flowers. If that doesn't work, we do have some cherry leaves, and we may end up using those because those will stand out a little bit more. What I'm thinking is we're going to start over here. This is the side opposite from where we come in on the obsidian platform. I believe north is that away. I think that's west, that's east. Yeah, that's north. Okay. So we're not exactly going to have this set so that 12 is at north because, well, our starting platform is over there. So we'll put 12 over here. And I think what we're going to do is we'll take our bone meal here for our pink petals, and we're just going to do clock in Roman numerals. I think we've got enough space to do this, and hopefully we don't run out of room to put in our numbers. So there we have 12, And now around this, we just need to put in our flowers. I don't really have a plan. I think we're just going to put a few down, bone meal them, and go from there. We will have to take some out to put on the moss, but that is going to be a future me problem. So I've got a lot of flowers to put in, a lot of numbers to get set, and once those are all set up, I will be back. All right, and there we go. That should be all of the flowers in, or almost all of the flowers in. Probably a few more small gaps scattered around here that I just completely missed, but it's really, really hard to tell when you're down here if there's any holes until you're pretty much right on top of them. But as you can see, we have all the flowers in. I took out the end rods and then put them back in because apparently Endermen can in fact spawn with their head in glass. So if we climb up the scaffolding, we should be able to see everything in its full entirety from here. And there we go. That looks quite nice, except for the end rods, which we don't exactly have a very easy way to hide those, considering everything here is glass, and if you put a carpet in, it would look pretty obvious. But that is all the flowers in. I'm quite happy with it, actually. There's only one bit with the numbering on the side that I'm not overly fond of, but it was always going to be the hardest one to put in, so I'm not too upset by it. But all that is missing are the hands for the clock. And, well, I'm not quite sure where I want to put those. Could have them set for 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something like that. But I don't really know. So, I guess let me know down in the comment section what time you think we should have this on. Probably something that's fairly easy to put on here. But I'm thinking of making those hands out of obsidian. So I don't want to build them up and then later have to tear them back out and everything else. So I am going to go and keep looking around here, see if I can't find any more blank spaces or any spots where Endermen have decided to go and take up the grass, because I've seen them move a few pieces before. So I'm going to go and make sure that this is all fully covered. But that is just about all the time we have for today. So, thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on in this world and more of what is going to be going on out here for this end hub. Got a few plans I'm still tossing around, but so far I am very, very happy with how this all is turning out. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.